What's up, guys? I hope you're having a great day. If you've known me for a long period of time or you've been to my house, you know that I love to paint, aka buy all the canvases that I have up around here. But I thought it would be fun to take you guys on a little painting adventure and that you can do yourself at home. I got inspired. I found some pieces on Pinterest and I'm going to make like my own version of them, but this is something that you can do at home. I'm not going to use a canvas for this. I actually found a little mirror that I will show you what it looks like. And I found it on clearance at some store. I don't remember where, but I have some space in my dining room that I'm going to fill it. So I'll show you guys what I end up painting. And this is something you can do yourself. So I'd love to see what you guys come up with. So first you wanna put on your favorite playlist, and then you're gonna wanna pour yourself a glass of wine, and then basically you're gonna get all your materials together. So I definitely snagged my mirror, the thing I'm gonna paint on, under my bed. That's where I put all my paintings. And then you're gonna wanna clean it off. So basically wiping it down, taking off all the stickers. I use a glass cleaner to take off all of the sticker. It's helpful. And so this is the process to get there. Once it's all clean, you snag your tape. I basically wanted to have an outer edge that still showed the mirror because I thought that that would look really cool underneath the painting. And so basically I measured out how wide I needed the tape to be so that the lettering on the bottom still doesn't show up. And so I ended up just cutting the tape in half, as you can see, and then I just lined it as long as the mirror. And then I just kind of lined the inside of the mirror all the way around. I snagged my ruler just to measure out the sides to make sure that they were even and that it was pretty smooth all the way down the side. And that way you can make sure that it matches pretty evenly on every side of the mirror. So these are some of my favorite things to use to throw my paints in. Obviously I use them a lot, but I like the deeper ones when you're using a large area on whatever you're painting. It holds a lot more paint, obviously. And then these ones are kind of nice just for the little touch-ups or the smaller spaces. And this is kind of the happy medium. So those are some of my favorite things. And then these are the paints that I plan on using. Got my line, then get all of your brushes that you'll need for this. This is kind of like what I keep my brushes in. And this brush is actually, let's see, zoom in. It's so good to cut in and get those tight edges. This brush is really good for just kind of the smaller area, so it's pretty fine. This brush is really good for the larger areas when you're just trying to cover a lot of space. And there's a lot of different brushes that you can use in between. Those honestly are my favorites. Another one, it'll cut in those edges. But those are some of my favorite brushes and probably the ones that I will use on this. Also, I snagged paper towels just because if you make a mistake, it's easy cleanup, and it's also great to just blend in a lot of paints. So I love using paper towels when I'm painting. All right, so once you've got all of your materials set, it's gonna be basically get started painting. So I started mixing a lot of my blue paints together. I basically wanted to create some waves on the bottom of the painting. And I love mixing colors because then you can really get the shade of color that you're hoping for. And so I just have fun with it. You can use whatever you want for this. But I definitely like mixing my paints. One thing also to note is putting your brush in the water before you dip it in the paints. It won't absorb the paint as much, which is great because then you're not wasting your paint. And then I just started painting along the bottom to cover up all the lettering. And as I was painting over it, I really liked seeing some of the mirror through the water, and so I kind of calculated a little bit more of which areas I wanted the mirror to show, and the rest of it's painted blue. And so I just filled it in with all the blue paint. And then also, as you can see, the layer is super light right now, and so it needs multiple layers in order for it to really be that full coverage, and that way you don't see any of the lettering through it. So it needs some layers on there, and if you're painting on a mirror, generally it'll need layers anyways. And then one of my favorite tricks in the book is to snag your hair dryer in between layers while you're waiting for it to dry. It really helps save time because painting takes a long time to paint, and so it's worth getting a blow dryer and basically drying your paint a lot faster. After that first layer is totally done, I ended up mixing some lighter blues into it because I wanted to add some depth into the sea. And so I just basically painted some of the lighter color throughout it. And then I took off the paint on the bottom just because I wanted to see what it looked like, so it was a little bit earlier. And then I took the tape and then I actually started making the sun. So that's basically what I'm gonna put right there. But I wanted to outline it because I still wanted the mirror to show in different areas. So I wanted to just basically block that out. And another handy tool is if you take something that is round and use it as a guide to actually outline whatever you're trying to draw or paint or do. It basically helps that circle look a lot nicer than probably what at least I was trying to do. And then I started mixing some of my lighter colors I wanted to get going on the sky. Again, you can use any colors that you want, but I wanted to stick with some like a lighter palette for this guy because my other colors were more bold. And then as you can see here, I just used the paper towel to basically clean off my brush as I was putting it in the water. It helps get all that color out of it and to know if it has any color left. This is an example of the area that I definitely wanted to use a bigger brush because it would take me a lot longer. So I just snagged one of my bigger brushes. And then I just made a little mistake, so I just cleaned it up then. But the mirror can handle it a little bit longer, so if you wait till it dries, it's easy cleanup versus a canvas. And then I took off the tape for the sun because I was just gonna go in there and free paint it. And I'm just going back over this guy and just coloring over the spots that kind of lifted a little bit more while I was painting over it. Again, the mirror is pretty delicate when you're painting a lot of layers on it, so you just gotta kind of keep going back for it. And then now I'm getting started on the sun. I'm just mixing up all the colors, getting it the shade that I'm wanting it. And then I wanted to keep the wave maintained on the bottom, but leaving enough mirror to showcase it because I think it's pretty cool. I'm gonna go in and add some plants, basically some red reeds, and I snagged my thinner brush for this because I'm gonna be making some finer lines on my painting. And then I basically just painted it on the top. Free to paint any kind of plant that you're feeling. Have fun with it and don't feel like you have to stay in the lines for it. Plants are pretty fun to play with, so kind of just play with it as you go. And I wanted to take some of the tape off because I wanted a little bit of the plant to hang off the edge. I thought that that would look really cool on the mirror. I went back in and finished painting a little bit more red along the edges, and then we'll get into how to hang it. Snag your hammer, nails, a pencil, and a chair or something to stand on for wherever you're hanging it. And then get an idea of where you want to hang it. I mark where the nails are supposed to go with where the backing on the frame is. I know this way is a little bit janky, but it works for me, and so that's just kind of like what I've used. Make sure it lines up like evenly with the ground and the windows or like some kind of frame so that you know that it's going to be straight. And then start nailing in your nails. Leave a little bit of space out so that it actually can hang on it, and then you're all set. And that's all she wrote. I hope you guys like this video. I would love to see what you come up with, and be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.